Morning and welcome back to Mrs. Goff's kitchen. So today we've got the challenge of doing our bread practical. It was going to be an enriched bread dough, but some of you might not be able to find bread flour at home, and also you might not have some yeast. So I thought I'd be as flexible as I possibly could and come up with maybe some new recipes. So the link is on the bottom of the front page, which you'll have seen, and it's from the BBC Good Food website, which are always, nearly always, very good, reliable recipes to follow in the absence of anything else. So today we're going to make soda bread. So usually you would have yeast, which is the biological raising agent, which would help the fermentation process and give a byproduct of alcohol, but as well as carbon dioxide. But today we're going to be using soda. So we've got bicarbonate of soda, which is our chemical raising agent instead. And this is going to be able to give us, with the presence of an acid and a liquid and heat, it's going to give off carbon dioxide bubbles, which is going to help raise the bread in the absence of a stretchy gluten bread flour that we'd normally use. So we're going to start off with 250 grams of wholemeal plain flour, 250 grams of normal all-purpose plain white flour. We've got a teaspoon of salt. It looks a bit pink, that's because I've got pink Himalayan salt. It's all the ones I've got in at the minute. And I've got 1 teaspoon measured of our bicarbonate of soda, which luckily I had it in the cupboard. Now we put all of the dry ingredients together. We also need 420 millilitres of buttermilk, but instead I'm going to use milk and put a dash of lemon juice in to add the acidity. Now, it's really important when you're measuring liquids to get them right, and as we would know normally in class, I get you to add them a little bit at a time. And the reason we do that is to make sure that we don't have a sloppy mixture and end up having to use our scarce resources of more flour to be able to mix it in. So I've got this tiny little baby measuring jug. How cute is this? And this one goes up to 40 millilitres. And I just need 20. So when I'm measuring, I pop it on the bench. You can't see me bobbing down now, but basically I'm bobbing down, I'm getting the bench work surface at eye level so that I can actually measure it flat, so I can see that that's 20 millilitres. So you might think, well, I don't have one of those at home, so how am I going to be able to measure the 20 millilitres? Well, a teaspoon, if you remember, is the baby one, not tablespoon, which is the big one. The tiny little, get my teeth back in. The little teaspoon one is 5 millilitres, so you will need 4 of these. Now, who said cooking isn't maths? So we are going to have a little bit of a maths lesson today as well. So we need 4 of these little baby ones. If you have actually got a proper measuring spoon, that's great. I don't. I seem to have lost the major one, which is the teaspoon, and I have a tablespoon, which is actually 50 millilitres, so that's no help at all. So we'll put that to one side. So we've got all our dry ingredients. It's really quick. We're going to basically bung everything in this bowl. So you can see this is on sharp. I'm going to stick everything in here. And the great thing about soda bread is absolutely no kneading is required. We just literally need to be able to get everything in together. So that's the salt, that's bicarbonate of soda, both types of flour, our 20 millilitres, little baby measuring jug. How cute is that? And 400 millilitres of milk. Gosh, I do make a lot of clanking sounds, don't I, in the kitchen? Hopefully you can hear it. So we need, would I say a spatula maybe? Maybe something other than our hands at this point in time, just to be able to bring it together. Let's get that soda out of the way and get everything in shot. So just going to bring this together, and hopefully it's going to come into a nice sticky dough. What's going to be happening, oops, I've just banged the camera holder. That's not good, is it? So we're going to bring this together as a large sticky dough. So at the moment it looks a bit more like a cake than it would as a bread dough. Don't worry if this is the case, you can add a little bit more bread if you want. The idea is you do not need to knead this. It is a bread that doesn't develop gluten in the same way, with it not having any yeast. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this onto a floured board. and the flour just helps it from sticking. Oh, I forgot to say, I did add a little bit of lemon juice to the mixture, the 20 millilitres mixture, just so that I've got a bit more of an acidic milk, which buttermilk would give us. So let's try and bring this together. Let's get some flour on. And the idea with soda bread is that we just make it into a nice round, like so. It's supposed to be an uneven bread. I'm not sure that it's supposed to be as sloppy as this, but we'll see. Let's do that. I'm just going to wash my hands because I've now got sticky dough everywhere. So don't worry at this stage if your bread does look a little bit sticky, or even if it looks a bit more bread-like than that. I'm going to give this a go and see how this works. So soda bread is traditionally served with a quarter cross, which is not going to happen. Oops, like that. What that means is, as the dough is going to rise, it's going to split across those as opposed to anywhere else. And at the moment, this one's a very, very sticky dough. So we're going to see how this works. Okay, I'm going to pop this in the oven now for on 108 degrees Celsius, which is gas mark 4, for about 30 minutes. See you later. So here's my bread. It's about to start. It's from cold proof, so we're going to check on it in 30 minutes. Nice. This is the bread after 30 minutes. It's risen really well. So we'll get them out of the oven and take a closer look. So the soda bread's now out of the oven. As you can see, you can just see the little cross across the top here. We're going to cut it open in a moment and see that internal structure. We'll have a look and see exactly what this is like in the middle. Ooh, a little bit nervous. Let's see. Wow, this is hot. Might want to wait till it's cooled down a little bit unless you're absolutely desperate for lunch. Let's have a little look. So, we see that lovely internal texture. It's a little bit more dense than what you would normally have with a risen bread through yeast. However, it looks nice and delicious, and I'm going to have that for my lunch. Enjoy.